Okay, so my pizza box is not working as a stand.
No, it is working apparently.
What is it?
Yeah, because I'm live with you now.
Yay, hi. So the pizza box is not working, and that's why I had to keep it here.
Okay.
So it just was falling. So that's why I'm like a couple of minutes late. Sorry. Sorry,
No, that
sorry. Hi,
never too
how are
late.
you?
I, I am really happy and good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good. Is lighting okay? It's gloomy
Lighting is
outside.
good. Yeah, I mean, actually, the weather outside is so amazing. I wish we could have done a rain dance kind of a session there, but the mobiles
Absolutely.
survived.
Totally, totally. I would have loved it, but I
Yeah,
think not the, maybe another
yeah.
day, another
Another.
time, a
Yeah.
better time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hi,
I think maybe we'll do when our minds are seriously at ease and we really want to have fun. We'll go out and do that.
totally,
In the
totally.
meantime, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for this idea.
Yeah.
Every
No, actually, the idea was yours. So I think let's start off by trying to, allow allowing people
Mhm.
slightly into, into what we've been doing, how it's all started. And it all
Yeah.
started with you saying something to me and then we going ahead. What did you actually, why did you do it?
So I have been a first aider for quite a while now, and I've had
Right,
my own journey of mental health a couple of years ago. I've gone through
right,
like the extremes myself. I've gone for counseling and things like that. Then I
right,
decided to learn more and be a first aider. And in the lockdown as a first aider, I do get some calls where people want to know as to, they just want to do a talk session with me. So that's when
right,
I realized it was at the start of the lockdown around 23rd and 24. I realized that we are going to hit in like get a new wave of mental health issues because all of a
right,
sudden, one, we don't know that we have to spend time with ourselves, with our families. We are not used to staying 24 hours together. And that's why I think
right,
most of the relationships have been working so far.
right.
That
Yeah,
we don't have to tolerate each other for 24 hours. So that's when I thought I must do something more, and I wanted to do it for migrant workers and a lot of other people as well. But then immediately I thought I need to talk to somebody. And I was like, in my own spiritual way, I got your name. So I called you, and you immediately said yes. So now I want to know from you, like, what, like, it was so instant. And I was like,
yeah.
okay, that is awesome. And it took me a while to believe it. So, what made you say yes to this?
So people who know me know that, I have changed and tried to do new things a lot of times in my life. So I've just broken away from things. So like I am a mechanical engineer who completed his master's but never worked as an engineer. Then I worked in India for about a decade and then I just quit completely. I retired. And then I started painting and then I started doing a lot of things in painting. So what has been instrumental is I've always looked out at something exciting, whatever excites me, whatever I feel is right, I always follow it up. And now I'm working as an art curator, and the lockdown, a lot of my events also got cancelled, and I had more time on my hand also, and I was also struggling to try and understand what I wanted to do with my life with this, this situation that we had kind of been boxed into. So your call was actually just the right thing that came at that moment. And I said, yeah, I'm not just that I have time, but this is something that I have never explored. And it seemed genuine. I think that's one very important thing that all my collaborations have generally happened with people who I feel have been genuine and honest towards what they were trying to do. So you came across as somebody, and we had met at
Yeah,
Mary college at a very random event, and thanks to
yeah,
Sudipta for connecting us through that. Uh,
yeah.
so this is so interesting. That's how life goes, and once you pose that question to me, I mean, the only thought in my mind was how it's going to happen, and that was the only thing. If,
Yeah.
no, it had to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we were like within a day we decided the framework, how we want to go about it, and it was so quick. Within a day, we could finalize on quite a lot of things and plan out the first 4 or 5 sessions. And I think it just organically, everything came together, and people have been really supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, all the psychologists who've been
Yeah.
on board, they've all been so kind and generous. Everybody, all the 17 sessions that we had and the 14 counselors, psychologists, they've been
Yeah.
amazing. Um, and they all did it on pro bono, taking out time from, because this is the time they've been so busy. They've been getting
Right.
so many calls, assignments, helping out people. And this was one thing that they were absolutely open with, and they wanted to come out and help out in whichever way.
Right.
And all the discussions that happened behind the scene, people don't know, like the couple of, like, quite a lot of hours have gone behind each session. So
Right.
they've been supportive. You've been very supportive, patient with me. So I think
No,
that,
but the point is that you were instrumental in keeping the research going. So, I mean, people would have seen me on screen during the sessions, but they don't know back end was majorly you getting to speak to all the counselors, discussing with them what would be the topic of that discussion, how to, how to go about it. So I think I had a easy thing to do. I just had to be myself.
not that
I had to
you
do
took it.
all the legwork and the hard work. So well done. I mean, I hope that our listeners and people who have joined MindMed, they would kind of associate with what we've been able to create over these few weeks that we've been
Yeah.
together. These 17 sessions that we did, all the 14, like you mentioned, psychologists. I mean, we can name all of them, but then there's no point. Why don't you go? I would request everybody to just go and check out our videos, which are there
Yeah.
online. There's so much of knowledge that you can use yourself, you can share with others. Maybe there's somebody that you would want to, listen to, because these are all mental health issues being discussed with mental health specialists. So this is knowledge from people who are peers and who really know what it's about, and they're there to help. So
Yeah,
what now?
absolutely. So then we have to thank the viewers also, because the people who've been joining us, they've been so loyal and so supportive. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. It would have been just a simple process of recording a conversation, and that's about it. But people had they came up, they wanted to open up, and they had a lot of questions to ask. So that was amazing. We had so many questions, and still we have questions that we want to cover up in the follow up whenever we start up a new series. We plan out that. So all the viewers who've been there with us all through and through, I think that's a major shout out to all those people. This would
Right.
not have been possible without them. And the feedback, the constant, immediate feedback that we were
Exactly.
getting, that was a great validation that we are on the right track. We are covering the topics that they want to hear. They want to know these things, which are not really simply put in any textbooks, or it's not on the Google search.
Yeah.
And it was very
It's
focused
through
on,
practice. Yeah.
and we were leaving them with some simple tips at the end of the sessions, and it was very focused on the age group, the social strata, wherever, whatever conditions that they're facing with. So all those sessions were aligned to one specific focused topic. So that, I
Right.
think, helped. And so people have been really extremely supportive. I think this would not have been possible
Yeah, I think it
without them.
was quite, I mean, something that we had decided initially itself. We were planning not to have comments so that, the special guest speaker would be completely visible, because that's something of the technology where the comments come in front of the face. But then we decided to keep the comments so as to realize as to what was happening. But we weren't really asking for questions during these sessions, because it was
Yeah.
more about a dialogue and a conversation between me and these specialists, and I would represent the common person, trying
Yeah.
to just communicate what would be the questions that would arise. But there were a lot of questions after the sessions coming to you and coming to us, and which we directed some of them to the specialists also, who were able to give a response. So the
Yeah.
initiative has been done, and I think people would want to know what next. Where do we go from here? What do you plan
Yeah.
to?
So, and one more important thing that has come out of this series of 17 session, and that is like an absolute great validation of the work, and the fact
Right.
that we need more of these sessions, we need more of the work around mental health. The whole
Right.
idea of why we have Minded is advocacy educational programs. So
Right.
people were coming up, like in the last 2 weeks, I had 6 messages, calls, where people are saying, Preeti, we are feeling anxiety, we are panic. I think I'm going to get a panic attack. I am breaking it, I'm going to lose it. So those things, one, it is a sad situation, but the
Right.
fact that people are opening up, expressing, they're not shy to express themselves, which is great. And then they're looking for help, which is an absolute brilliant move forward, because people, one, they shy away from talking about these things. There is a whole
True.
lot of stigma attached to it. And then
Right.
they don't go for therapy. They don't even go for a counselor. They will not. It will take like a week. Even if you pass on a number to somebody saying, slip in a number, say, please call.
Yeah.
It will take them a while to call a person, like a counselor, for help. So this was a great validation. So based on that, because we created this platform, it is important and
Right.
imperative that we help them out. So now we are trying to create a list of a network of psychologists and counselors who either have very kindly agreed to give a free session, discounted session, and therapy and things like that. So we are going to Akshat, like we are in the process of putting that list together now.
Right.
And a lot of people have reverted with a very positive messages and responses and collaboration and things like that. So that's very motivating. Definitely makes us believe that we're on the right track. We've done good so far in terms of spreading the awareness about the topic. So we'll get the list out on our pages, Instagram and Facebook, by early next week. I think we'll have that network. So that should help out people, even if, yeah, I think that should help, because there is no easy access.
Yeah, because this whole point of understanding that you have the need for a psychologist or some support from a counselor, and then acting on it, taking calling the person or reaching out to them. These are very, very huge steps when the person tries to do them. So this whole enablement that we have, kind of tried to get, it's just logical that we should put this network in place. And again, thankfully, a lot of humans out there, in quotes. So thankfully, they are ready to help as well. So Mindfulness is not an organization, which is again something that people might want to know. It started off as an initiative by you, and then I joined in, and then once we reached out for volunteers, we had some volunteers who also pitched in for pro bono again. So this is all something that we are all trying to put in an effort to for awareness, for advocacy, for education, for engagement, for support, whatever needs to be done in this mental health, this ecosystem that kind of exists, allowing people to get into this ecosystem and take the help of it. So we have decided that Kalpana Adhikari is going to be our content creative advisors. I'm thankful for the person joining us. So that's one good thing. And with our volunteers and other specialists who are with us, we'll be working on the network and the other plans that we have. What else? What else?
So just on the volunteer part, I wanted to, so a big shout out to Kalpana Adhikari, who agreed to be part of the team now. So we'll be working closely on a few of the things that we planned. Now on the volunteers, I wanted to just share it with people who join, that if you plan to, or if you think you have interest in mental health, and if you want to volunteer 3 to 4 hours a week, at least a commitment of 2 months, we're doing a lot of work. So we really need that commitment. And please reach out to us through our pages. Some of you have our numbers, messages, Instagram, Facebook, whichever way. Please do reach out if you can commit that time for the cause. It's as Akshat rightly said, it's not an organization, so there is no money. We are all pro bono here. We are all come together with the one intention that we just want to create a community to make mental awareness, mental health a part of day-to-day conversations. That's been our motive from the start. So that's on the volunteers. I wanted to, do you think this is a good segue to move to? I wanted to share about Mental Health Act, because I felt that was one topic.
Yeah, that was one topic that we had kind of planned on the legal aspects of, but we never quite got to addressing it in the first 17, the block of series that we did. Maybe you can take this initiative and tell us about the, 4 points of things.
Yeah. So I am. So I'm not a lawyer. Just wanted to put this out there. But as part of my work, I am a regulatory compliance professional. So I deal with regulations, and therefore the information that I'm going to share with everybody is straight from the Act, the
Right.
2017 Mental Health Care Act 2017. So this got amended, and it was such a required move. It was an amendment of 1983 Act, and then there were some amendments in 2007, which were really, really very not so human friendly, the kind of conditions that we had at that point in time. So
Right.
in the Mental Health Act, so I've got just some notes here, so I'll quickly refer to them. So this
Please.
was, so I will just talk about some of the things that are part of this 2017. And as people on the ground, all of us, people who are watching this, we should be mindful of this. We should be aware. We must be aware. So if you see somebody really not abiding to it, you can call that out,
Right.
educate them, share that knowledge with them. So one of the things that it says is, very importantly, that it overturned the 309 Indian Penal Code, which criminalizes the
Mhm.
attempted. So now what happens with 2017, suicide is not a criminal act. Okay.
Yeah.
So we cannot say, and it's in the act, that we cannot say that person committed suicide. We can't say that. Attempted suicide or suicided is the word. We
Right.
cannot say commit. There is no criminalization associated with this, because then there was a lot
Right.
of stigma attached when somebody, let's say, attempted suicide and came back recovered, healed, but then the society, the family was not ready to accept, thinking there is something really going wrong up
Criminal
there.
attached to it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the criminal and the police and everything, all those things will also make it very worse. Also,
Right.
it helps protect, the new 2017 Act helps protect the rights of a person with mental health condition and illness. What does that mean is that now there is a proper, you have as a mental health condition person who wants to avail a health service, the government
Right.
has to make sure that it's available, it's accessible, convenient, affordable. And for
Right.
anybody who's poverty line, it should be, must be free of cost. Okay.
Right.
And the person has the right to live with dignity, has the right to opt for a kind of treatment that they want to go for, and whom they want to nominate while they go through the treatment, who is the representative taking decisions.
Right.
So this act really gives out a lot of power to the people, to the person who's going through that mental health
Yeah.
condition, and not people are taking advantage of that person. So the
True.
has to be a proper consent, and the consent has to run by a medical practitioner. So like
Right.
in old stories and movies, we've seen that the family tries to take
Confined into the mental
yeah,
asylum. Yeah.
yes, put them in a mental asylum, and also, or just take the access to all their property and all those things,
Right.
saying, oh, this person cannot take decisions. But now that
Yeah.
is not easy as it sounds. So it's not going to be like that. Then also
Right.
the person has right to take, irrespective of the caste, creed, gender, sexual orientation, they have access to mental health care. They have,
Right.
nobody can deny that, which was not so much in earlier act. Also, the electroconvulsion therapy that used to happen just as default in major mental illness cases, that again has been checked through this act. It cannot happen without a muscle relaxant or an anesthesia.
Okay.
It used to happen without that. So just
Yeah.
imagine how grim the situation was. And
Traumatic.
it
Yeah.
can, too bad. I get goosebumps when I talk about it. Also, it cannot happen with children. You cannot do ECT, electroconvulsion therapy, with children, minors. You cannot
Yeah.
do that. No matter what the parent says, you can't do that. So it also and there is a whole, like the suicidal, and if the medical hospital stops you from giving the treatment, there is any kind of issue that you face as a person. See,
Yeah.
because it's a mental condition. So immediately you may be in a very early stage. With early intervention, it may help. And then gradually, if things are not so good, then it becomes a mental, critical, severe mental illness problem. So
True.
no stigma. If anybody breaks any of these laws, or the stigma or around suicide, about providing mental health care, or uh, discriminating in terms of gender, caste, sexual orientation, and not provide those services, then there is a penalty attached to it.
Right.
That's the legal aspect. So up to 6 months jail or 10,000 rupees fine. If it's a repeated offender, then the person will be subjected to 2 years of jail or 50,000 to 5 lakhs of penalty to be given, or both, depending on how serious the incidence is. So that's what I wanted to share. And one of the important thing is that when we say, oh, that person tried to commit suicide, please be wary of that. Let's be more conscious of how we word these things. And we have to just be, there are lot of unconscious bias also that we carry in our day to day. I think we have to just break away from all of that.
I think so you've already spoken about the legal aspects of the Mental Health Act, the amendment of the 2017 of the earlier act. So you listed out so many rights that have been given, and obligations also towards the government to provide certain services and make them available for everyone. When you speak about suicide, I think that is something that we should also speak about. We try to bring to notice the suicide special center, where people could call, and we've done that. I think this is something that we all need to reach up. There are studies and show that you would be in a better position to tell me the numbers in case. But it's not just the numbers; it's alarming, the number of people who have such kind of. So whenever there are such kind of thoughts, any friends, anybody who knows, is voicing these concerns, listen to them, and then I'm telling them to speak to somebody who can help them out of this. First of all, speak to them. Don't leave them alone. They need support at this point in time. And I think mental health, I think most of it is about finding listening for somebody to hear you out. A lot of times we are able to find our own answers, but there are otherwise also professionals are there to do that for you and to help you navigate through your own challenges that you're facing in your life and your mental health issues. So I think this is something I hope that through Mind at Ease we'll be able to focus on these things of making people more aware of it, bringing down the stigma attached to all the mental health issues. The word mental itself is used as an abuse also, and it's quite commonly used also, which it shouldn't be. So we've got to destigmatize these things. We've got to understand it's like any other ailment that a person could have, and it can be addressed. The whole point is of addressing it. So,
absolutely. So anybody associated with mental health, so like when I did mental health first aider, so people said, obviously this was absolutely new thing in India. So then they said that, oh, she must be going through some issues. That's why she need a mental health first aider course. I mean,
I don't know thinking that you are providing it as a first aid.
Yes. So it is like that. So the moment they hear mental health, like, oh, that's not for me. That's for the other. But everybody is in, and with this lockdown situation, the kind of situation that we're going through, there is a lot of undercurrent, a lot of lives we've lost. There is no record of that, and those lives are lost because they attempted suicide. It's not because of coronavirus. It's not because of something else.
It's about the fears, the frustrations, and all that came with it.
Just 1 second, Akshat. I have to open the door. It's Penny. She has to go out. Just 1 second.
Please do that.
Banging at the door. Okay.
Please do that. So life goes on, as you can see. Preeti needs to live her bachas, which is fine.
I wanted to go to the balconies. They've been coming. So I told you 4:30 is the time, and it's raining. So they just wanted to go to the little park that we have here.
Right.
So, back. So
it's good. Plan... Life goes on. Tell me, what else do we want to talk to our listeners about?
Yes, so just in case anybody has questions, please let us know here in the comment section. Concept of mental hygiene missing, would you agree? Absolutely, because we are like we have a clutter of judgment, unconscious bias. We just judge everyone at every aspect, and we always find somebody else to blame for everything in the world. And that's a talent also, I feel, in a lot of people. But absolutely, yes. Akshat, do you want to add something to that?
No, I think it makes sense, but I think it would be important to deconstruct that whole sentence, because the concept itself of mental health, I think most of the people would not be able to understand what is mental health. I mean, people don't understand normal hygiene, which is what we are facing during the coronavirus situation also. Despite the lockdowns being, people are not able to follow that. How do you get someone mentally be, uh, sanitized? I don't know if that is the right
Absolutely,
word.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can create a word.
To be
That's
clean
fine.
about it. Yeah, yeah. So we still go around discriminating people on any kind of, be it from a region, age, gender, sexual orientation, anything and everything. We have found reasons to discriminate, and these all things need to go, and we need to work at it. We've got another question. Will you be providing counseling to people who require it, and how? So yeah, I think we were addressing that to the network of counselors and psychologists that we plan to have on board. Uh, Working out the nitty-gritties of it, because we need to work out how it is going to be done, especially going ahead. I think a lot of it is still going to be online, or it is going to be through phone, and these networks need to be worked out, how it is to be done, what days, what time. Uh, Payments and non-payments. So we are trying to figure out with each individual person who comes to us, in terms of psychologists or counselors, how they would like to associate free sessions, discounted sessions, how they would want to do it. And we are open to all formats. And needs, thankfully, we are trying. I mean, during the 17 sessions, we've had a lot of different counselors who've been addressing different issues, and for different age groups, or different needs that they're addressing. So accordingly, we will need to give a complete plethora of all these things. It has to be a collective, and we can get the right specialists to probably give out the best solution and care to the person who needs it.
Yeah, true. And as a first aider, if somebody wants to like that, as a first aider,
Yeah,
if you think there is somebody, then they can definitely call me. And if I am available, I will definitely help, because I do have a full-time job. But I will connect them if I'm not able to help out. As a first aider, like where you think there are little signs and they themselves are not really sure what they're going through. It's just the feeling of a lot of queries that I get is, Preeti, we are feeling overwhelmed. If it's at that stage and they're yet to figure out, they can definitely call a first aider for sure.
right, right. This whole
Yeah.
concept of the first aider, I think, as first aider, I mean, Linda had done this, and you had done your first aider certification from them only. So what does a
Yeah.
first, I mean, like you just mentioned, maybe in a sentence or two, if you could explain, what is a first aider? How does the first aider differentiate from a counselor or a psychologist?
Yeah. So it's just like a first aid that we give to somebody in a human being when somebody is injured. So what do you call? Let's say if you
Physical injury.
find a
Yeah,
physical injury, you just call, you stay with the person till the person
yeah,
gets help, like real
right,
medical help. That is the
right,
job of a first aider. So
right,
when you feel that somebody has those signs and symptoms, so it was a very intense training that I've done through MHFA India.
right.
And it is Australia-based organization. Now they've set up in Chennai and they have centers all around the world. It's also called psychology first aid in most of the
Mhm.
countries. And
Okay,
the whole idea is to, you stay with the person, you help the person identify through talk session,
right,
because a lot of, if you get first aid in time, you're able to save a lot of life or help them get help, go to
right.
take help, professional help. And you, as a first aider, you help break that stigma too. So that's the job of a first aider, without really getting into the nitty gritties of it, because we
Yeah,
are trained to understand the signs and symptoms of anxiety and a lot of other pieces, and how it moves from the good to bad spectrum of mental health, from so early stages to a chronic or a severe. So that's the training all about. So as a first aider, just as you think, if you see an accident, what will you do? You will stand by the person, you will wait for
try
the
to stop the
ambulance to
bleeding
arrive,
or
or
call the
if you
people.
have
Yeah,
something, you will do a little bandage with whatever cloth or whatever is available around you. So that
yeah,
is the job of first aider. But here the wounds are not seen. That's the
yeah.
only thing. That's the only
But you
thing that
still
people.
provide help before the actual, I mean, the professional help arrives.
Yes,
And
yes.
that can
So
be assessed also. But your role becomes quite critical because you are the first person on the spot in
yeah,
terms of you
and
are
some,
reached out to. Yeah.
yeah. So at sometimes it is difficult, and I've learned it over time. It's difficult because the more people that you talk to, it helps. The more kind of it's like a cases that you see.
Yeah.
Some people are not really very happy to go to a counselor, but this talk session, maybe not once. I'm not saying it's one-time activity. They sometimes talk to you 3 times in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months also, and they are yet to call the counselor. But you
Yeah.
cannot make that call for them. That I will call up the counselor. They have to do it themselves.
Themselves.
I, I cannot do that. That's where my role
That's the
ends.
boundary. Yeah.
That power stays with them, and my whole idea, my whole role is to make sure that they get the help or provide them the access, convince them, motivate them, inspire them to go get the help right time
Right.
so that they are able to save their lives. Yeah.
No pressure. Yeah.
No pressure. Absolutely. Yeah. And then
Right.
people do go to counselors and they do talk about what they're going through. Sometimes these talk sessions only help because, as you rightly said earlier, just don't be judgmental. Just if somebody says they're going through a difficult time, difficult, bad mood, or this mood, like don't say in terms of like girls, people say, oh, it must be a hormonal issue.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say, oh, go watch a movie, you will feel better. Or just snap it. Don't even Bonnie doesn't agree to all those words.
Yeah.
so snap it. Don't shun these things. If somebody is
Yeah.
expressing, feel
Don't trivialize them by finding an abstract answer to these things.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
There's no
they
need.
are, who are sharing, they're not really looking for an answer immediately. They're just trying to figure out, and they're just trying to talk it through to find what is happening, to
They're
find
just
something concrete.
voicing their thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. So then you don't judge those people. Just if you can't help, just don't be rude and crude and just be like, don't make it difficult all the more for them. That's very very important. And
I can see
everybody goes.
humans of, sorry, sorry.
Sorry, no, you
I
what
was
did you
just
say?
saying that I can see that humans of canines, Purvaja is there. So
Hi,
clapping.
Purvaja. Hello. Hi, Purvaja. Hi,
No, no,
finally
please
it's you.
complete. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I was just simply saying that it's very important, as you said, listen to them. If you can't listen to them, just say, sorry, I can't, let me be. Or, but don't shun that thought that they're going through what they're going through. Respect the fact they may not be able to express it to you in whatever words that you plan to see, or you may not see it as a problem, but that's fine. It's not for you to see that problem. It's for them to figure out what the problem is. So just be a little more kind in your words. If somebody, and I really take it as an opportunity that if somebody says that I'm overwhelmed, I take it as an opportunity of how can I help? Like the person has wants to confide in you. That's a great blessing because right now the kind of humanitarian crisis that we are going through, people don't trust each other. They don't reach out to people. And the kind of social distancing thing that we are following, the social solidarity is also going away with all of this.
Yeah, I
I feel.
think we should have focused on physical distancing. We've ended up with social distancing where we are trying to alienate ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So the other day somebody said, like, I think I did share this with you, that there is no ban or restriction on smiling at somebody. You can still smile if somebody is standing 6 feet away or 10 feet
Yeah.
away or in another balcony. You can still
Hmm.
smile at them. There is no virus spreading with that smile, for sure. So
But as long as you have the mask on in a public place, that might become a little difficult to see. The transparency might be a little bit. Yeah.
yes,
But then you can always,
but
so I saw these people are coming out with masks with such beautiful, artwork on
yeah,
them, and we've got kids also on them. And
true,
there's so
true,
many
true.
things.
Yeah,
So humans will always improvise and adapt and do a lot of things. And hopefully, I feel that we are moving towards society, uh, not going into other things, but at least it's becoming possible to voice yourself to a closer network. So find that closer network. So everybody should
yeah.
have that access. That needs to. We've done more than half an hour. How?
Oh my,
Yeah, we can
we talk
talk
a
for
lot.
long. We can
I
talk for
talk a
long.
lot.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, Yogita, you can wave to them. Yes,
Yeah.
we can. I try
If,
that,
if
but
our smiles are not visible, at least we can wave to them. That's
yes, yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah. So, I mean, we just wanted to. I don't know how many people are there. I just wanted to do a little activity, little something with the viewers because they've been really supportive.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, Hazel, smile I get.
Yeah.
I love your sessions, Hazel. I stay up late to watch them. So, okay. So I don't know how many people are there, and if we have time, I know we are already over time.
No, that's okay.
So
Let's just go about it. Yeah. Let's just do it.
yeah, so I don't have the things. It's a mindful activity. It's a simple mindful activity. So I will, and I would request the viewers, whosoever's joined us, please write, type, comment your whatever you feel.
Your response.
Yes, your response. So just it's a bit of a rapid fire. Whatever comes to your mind, a word or a phrase, just put it out there. This is something that I've done in a group session earlier, and it just helps, I guess, reflect back on things. And now with the lockdown being over, so Akshat, I'll start with first question, and then we'll see how it
So
goes.
you start, you give the question, you give the answer, I'll give my answer, and then we'll see if somebody joins in, or we'll go ahead with it, and then we'll come back to reading what people have commented.
Okay, sure. So one of the things is like the whole idea. It's a mindful activity. So you say when you have some time, just sit down and feel what you're feeling, and then say, I am feeling, and fill in the blanks. So just do that kind of activity. So, like right now, I say that I am feeling content.
Right.
So, how are you feeling, Akshat?
I'm feeling quite excited about the.
That's brilliant. So, anybody from the viewers who want to
People who want
add,
to complete their sentence as to
I am
what I'm,
feeling dash. So, whatever you want to suggest, share with us, just let us know.
it will
Okay,
take them
we'll
time
move
to
on.
type. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes a little, it's late also. So, I am grateful for dash. So I am personally, I'm grateful for that I can provide for all the dogs that I've taken care, like I'm the guardian for. That's a big one for me.
So
Thank
Hazel's
you.
comment, yeah, she says I'm feeling content. Kalpana is feeling determined. Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
So
And
I
then
am
we have,
grateful.
yes.
Sorry. I am
No, no,
grateful. I'm grateful for the rain, for the wonderful weather outside, which in May would not be normal, but it's beautiful outside. I love it. I'm grateful.
that's great, great. So humans of canines, I'm feeling restless. Purvaja, we need to talk. I know it's weekend.
Yes.
So, okay. And
Restless to
I'm
talk.
restless to talk. So I'm grateful for so people who've joined us. If you can just type your responses and we move on. It takes a little while to come up. What do you think this pandemic? And this is a question that I want to ask you before I even answer this. Uh, so what do you think this pandemic has taught us or is here to teach us?
So before I get into that, I can see that Hazel also believes that she's grateful for the rain. So that's good.
Beautiful. Yes.
So I've been doing a lot of live sessions, and on very different topics. I've been speaking to a lot of people. A lot of things that I wanted to do are not happening anymore, and I'm having to. Uh, so initially, I tried to think about how to do them differently in this situation, and then I also started thinking, do they need to be done at all, or does something else need, that needs to be focused upon? So I think what the pandemic and the lockdown and this entire thing has done is from day one to day, whatever, 67, 68, which we are on of the lockdowns, uh, my focus has shifted from, and my priorities have shifted from how to what. Now, it should have been reversed. Generally, we said what we want to and then we figure out how to go about it. I already knew what I wanted to do, and I was just thinking about how to do them. But now it seems that, I've started questioning, do they need to be done at all, or do they, what do they, I mean, are they a priority at all in life? So I think that for me has, a big change for me. Having to reconsider what my priorities are.
Yeah, yeah, that's yes, that's exact whole question of need versus want. People have not
Yeah.
gone to shopping malls. They have not gone to cinema halls.
Yeah.
So we can do away, like we can live without that. People have not got a new phone in 2 months. We can live without that. So yes, and
So,
yeah,
so I don't think that not shopping is the answer, right? It's not about not shopping or not. So these are all entertainments, but what do they provide us with? We are living where the laborer is actually walking. The person who is now rendered homeless is now going back to his home while we sit in our privileged, home and everything. Uh, I think we all need to get our priorities in the right place.
yeah.
Agreed.
So I wanted to check. Yeah, so that's Ranjit has come. So that's why Oscar's alarm bell. So I just wanted to say that to my mind, I feel that this pandemic has taught us that we are all one. It is such a leveler. No, it is not a rich man's disease, poor man's disease, but this is it. This is what it is, and there is no differentiation who can get it, who cannot get it. So that's what I totally believe. This is told us like we are all one globally as human beings. We have the same sort of fears and anxieties.
It's brought us all down to our knees in different ways, different privileges and everything, but everybody is fearful of it. So that fear is common for absolutely everyone. I think we should read some of the comments as well that have come in. I think we had Laika Love saying instead of smiling, if smile is not visible. I think that was for the wave. Then
Hazel also, I saw Hazel's comment, yeah.
Hazel says, for me, the pandemic is an eye-opener. And then Laika Love has also mentioned that she agrees with what you have said. So while we wait for others to, probably type in something, any other incomplete sentence?
Yeah, I hope. I hope. So I hope that we, out of this lockdown, if this was something, if we consider that we had to come out of this, like a lot of people are saying we had to come out of this very productive and skilled and all of those things. But for me, I feel we should not forget. I really hope people don't forget what we've gone through in this lockdown or with this coronavirus, and come out compassionate, more kind in our words and our deeds, and put those words into action. So be more kind, and I really hope everybody is kind towards everybody, be it human, environment, animals, anything and everything. So that's my hope, and I'm hopelessly hopeful in my life in general. That's all
Hope.
So I hope.
Yeah.
You, Akshat, yeah.
I'm thinking. So I hope that we lose all our identifiers other than being a human.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. Yes.
That's something that I was again remembering with a friend of mine who had appealed to remove all identifiers. We have many identifiers: Caucasian, Asian, male, female, whatever. I really hope that we can move on from that and have a single identifier as human. And then our identity should be to our work and our deeds and what we do. And I think that I hope we are humans first.
Yeah, and that goes back to our mental health, the stigma, because with the COVID situation also, the people who are treating the patients or who are getting treated,
the front line.
There is whole stigma attached to it. So yes, for sure, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Why we should not fear COVID?
So let's make that it's a question that you made. You were saying we have to fill in the blanks.
Please it's a question which just came to mind. It just came to my mind. I want
We
to
should
know
not
why.
fear, we should not fear COVID because
Yeah,
we should not fear
not
COVID
fear. Because COVID is just one challenge, I feel, and we so there'll be always new challenges for a laborer who's walking 1400 kilometers without any chappal, without any food and water. For him, COVID does not matter. It's a different
we,
challenge that the person is dealing with.
yeah.
It's survival. Okay, it's very different kind of survival that he's dealing with. So we should not fear COVID because COVID is not here to do. It won't do. There is a medical treatment and it will get treated, or we will find vaccines, or what will happen. We have no control over it. So we should not fear COVID because we have no control over it. Instead, we should focus our energy. I know it's more than a couple of words, but I just want to. I personally feel, and there's something that I truly follow in my life also, that we should just focus more on things we can do. I think COVID is a situation which is beyond us. It's just like an earthquake or a natural calamity, but it's of a different kind. We have no control over it. So when an earthquake comes, we get a lot of messages. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So I think, but we can't do much. So that's what it is.
So I think I agree with you there that, Hazel, fear can be transformed, right? So I agree with you that fearing COVID does not necessarily help with anything. What will help is what we do to try and keep ourselves safe. First ourselves and then the others around us, right? So you've got to start with yourself there, then you can do anything to the others. The market, keeping personal hygiene, you don't need to go out everywhere. We've not gone out so many places anymore and life's gone on. So find what else needs to be done. The priorities have to be right for us. So I don't think we need to fear, as in fear and not do anything. We should, if at all, fear, realize and understand that it is a threat. So being a threat, this is what we need to do, and we should try and follow these basic things for ourselves and for the people around us. Yeah.
No. Yeah, there are some comments. Do you want to read them? Because I may just fall from my makeshift stand.
Please don't do that. Just a second. So, just checking. So, like Love says, I'm assuming that's for the human race identifier. Then I think so too. What Hitler is saying, which I think was to the fear that you were sharing, that we don't need to share. And also said that I to which we responded. Hazel agrees with us. Pranit says thumbs up. And Pranit says we have to fight against it. I agree, but I think the ones who are really fighting it out with the virus are the people who are there in the labs, or right in the front are the medical specialists and all. I think from ourselves, I think all that we can do is not overload these people with our problems. You don't need to I need to go to a dentist, but I don't think they're open. I don't need to go to a hospital and find that is. I can pay for it. Or there are things that we don't need to go to the hospital for. Let's let them allow them that option to work on. They're already overloaded. All that we can do is keep our areas safe, stay warm, reduce whatever we are doing, and hope for the best.
Yeah, true, absolutely. So Hazel is saying
another comment. Yeah. Sometimes I have these bouts of panic where where did that? Sorry. Sometimes I have these bouts of panic that I keep reading about this virus. So that's something that I have done. I started to look at the coronavirus worldometer. Wonderful, terminology and everything. And I had it in my Google, shortcut. So I would just look at it, and I suddenly realized that the deaths were becoming numbers. And that's when I realized that, I need to stay away from this. I would, and the more you hear about these things, unfortunately, the more you become fearful. So we should be careful as to where we store our information from, how much information is actually required.
Yeah.
I know.
But
It's important to be a little selfish here and try and understand how you can help yourselves first to be able to help others. I think she goes on, but then it's critical to keep calm and stick to the basics. I agree. It's easier said than done. I think limiting your information and having proper sources and just basing on them is much easier. Talk to people generally, find out what they're doing, be with your family. I think we are very happy to be home with our family members. Let's be happy for that.
Yeah. And I honestly, I was also doing that when I saw some of the very grim visuals of with the migrant laborers walking and all those things. So that really took a toll. But I just consume information. I just take a download of information, news in the morning and at night. That's about it. And how much I really need to know as a responsible citizen, what I really need to know, how many numbers, I really want to know how many numbers, what's happening on the vaccine. But beyond that, I don't really need to know. Can I do anything about it? Again, as you rightly said, the information, the source that we're getting this information from, we has to be a little more, do a little bit of due diligence as to from where we're sourcing these. Are we just watching blindly all channels or consuming all sorts of information on WhatsApp and everything? I think we have to limit that for sure.
So what I'm reading has brought the smile to my face, where Hazel is saying that I find listening to your sessions really calming. It gives me a sense of we are in together. Thank you so much, Hazel.
Absolutely, Hazel. Absolutely. And I feel, even though I've not met you, watching your sessions, and I feel so sense of calm. And I was sharing this with Akshat that I had a very peaceful sleep after that. So, and likewise,
we are all peaceful to each other. So we are all in this together. We all give positive vibes to each other, and we can learn so many things from. At the same time, I think we are coming to a fun part. So we would need to, because we lose the video otherwise. And I think that's a very positive note to finish things on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you.
No, but you should conclude. And you should tell us what we are going to do in the future, in a nutshell, in a single sentence.
Yeah. Okay, how many seconds do we have? So that's important to know.
No, just give it a minute. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to, so likewise, Hazel, thank you so much. Beautiful comment. So I think we are doing a lot of things. So basically, we are working on building content workshops that we want to take out. We have a plan to take it out to school children. And when I say school children, children who are supposed to go to school, but they don't have access to schools as well. To their parents, to the teachers as well. So we are working on that. And that is like our immediate short-term goal. And then we have plans to go forward to other communities as well and spread the knowledge, spread the awareness. And so again, I would say we need volunteers, anybody who feels for the cause, who wants to be a part of the cause, help us out, be a part of the team, please do reach out. It's not an organization, but we can get you a letter of appreciation. Thanks to Akshat. Akshat has a company, so we can get that acknowledgement for you. But please do reach out. If you can commit some time, do reach out to us. And that's, I think, is where I would say thank you to all the people who really helped us, supported all this while.
And another thing that we're focusing on that we've mentioned initially is about the network of counselors and psychologists that we would try and build. And thank you, Purvaja. I'm really happy that you are excited and that we're all excited about this. We are not an organization yet, but we could be. So let's all stay on board. Let's help each other out where and
absolutely. Yeah, I think
a good bang.
Yeah, I love talking to you, Akshat. I mean, I talk so much. We talk offline so much, but I was yesterday, and I saw Hazel's comment. It was so excited to see you. And I think we should do video calls more often now.
No, I am really hopeful that the lockdowns would go away and we will have an opportunity to meet in person. I think that's something that I've missed out, and I really look forward to after the lockdowns are over. But stay safe, take care. I think you should save the video now. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
And stay in touch. Facebook and stay in touch with us.
Yes, please. Thank you.